we OG, we OG. Oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro.
RunesDex.
Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Merlin. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it start? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What's up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We're live from the Ordinal Hour, and this one is going to be absolutely awesome, guys, because we truly believe that this is your last opportunity to get on this train. The Bitcoin bull run train is about to take off, guys, and we're about to head to numbers that I think no one is ready for. We have just news every single day about states potentially adding Bitcoin, about, pension funds now with a news article coming today about potentially, I think they got $51 trillion in assets, a pension fund. I mean, Bitcoin's a $2 trillion asset, guys. We're about to absolutely explode, not to mention Trump's president in about 4 days now. Gary Gensler's gone. We got oh my God, there's so much bullish stuff this month. I'm excited, but this is it, guys. If you're not ready for this, if you're not paying attention, you're not gonna make it. I'm sorry, but it pays to pay attention, and right now is the time. And if you're tuned in, if you're locked in like we are, you are gonna make it. I promise you that. Hang out with us. It's gonna get fun. It's gonna get crazy, and I'm excited for it. But without further ado, we bring in my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
Holy Bitcoin, Batman. No, what's going on, man? How's everything? How are you feeling about the markets and everything else?
Well, today was just bipolar as heck, right? Like,
Yeah.
started off good, then big dump, and now we are back in action, it looks like. So feeling pretty good right now as of this moment. But yeah, yesterday we did cross over, I believe, the $100,000 mark. Was that yesterday? Yeah, it was. Okay. Yeah. So, we definitely have been trending into this. Yeah. The inauguration kind of euphoria a little bit, right? We have some big accounts talking about 120 by, around the 20th, and then maybe some pullback with Bitcoin, and then maybe some of the majors start to run, right? So that's really what I'm hoping, because look, we're in the Bitcoin ecosystem, and when Bitcoin runs, it's great, but we're really learning on the fly here of how these Bitcoin ecosystem assets are going to react. And so far, with Bitcoin kind of taking off on its own, they're not like benefiting right away. So what we've kind of come to conclusion is, look, we need, majors to do their thing, and then like mid caps, and then of course micro caps. That's like the funnel. But somewhere in between there is whenever these Bitcoin layer 1 assets will start to get aggressive again. And so that's what we're excited about.
Yeah, 100% agree, man. I just think that, if we get 120 by the inauguration. I mean, that's 20%, dude. That would be massive for Bitcoin. That's that's like $400 billion coming in. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. But let's kind of go over why this happened today. So we had a $1,500 candle down and a $1,500 candle up. Let's go over the reason why we had the down candle first. 10,557 Bitcoin worth 1.04 Bitcoin, billion transferred from unknown wallet to Coinbase Institutional per in alert. So Coinbase Institutional, though, I kind of looked into it. That's OTC. That doesn't really get dumped on the market, but that caused this giant red candle down. First, before we kind of get into that, kind of what's your opinion on potentially 10,000 Bitcoin being pushed into the market right now?
Yeah. Well, it's so funny because like the media companies, the ones that cover the vast or like the broad crypto space, I think it was Cointelegraph that reported that, right? Like they had to report that, right? Like even though it was OTC, it wasn't going to affect price right away, but it did from a psychological level, and that shows kind of how our space is right now, right? It's like not right now, just it's been that way. I don't know if you remember in 2022 when Kobe posted about CZ, on the run, and dude, that like the markets right then, right? So even these media companies that are they doing it intentionally? Are they not doing it intentionally? I can't tell you that, but what I can tell you is that there's a psychological effect from it, and that's what we saw, in my opinion, this morning. But we're seeing another psychological effect, kind of, and you're probably going to get into that in a second. But I like it better.
Yeah, so right after that, it was funny because we just got to have a meeting, and I saw that during the meeting, and then a few minutes later, I saw this green candle fly up, and I'm like, "What's going on?" So I went to watch your guru, and Fed chairman, or one of the Fed guys, Christopher Waller, says 3 or 4 cuts could be possible this year. So we went from last week, after the jobs number came out, everyone was saying, we're done. We might not get 2 cuts this year. And now Christopher Waller coming out, and he's somebody whose name gets dropped in the minutes, the Fed minutes that gets put out each month after a Fed meeting. He basically came out and said he thinks 3 or 4, which basically means we're going to do another one in January at the next Fed meeting. So, or February, whenever the next Fed meeting is. So that was bullish because that keeps us in this rate cutting cycle that we're in. And normally what happens is the Fed doesn't like to go back and forth. We either stay with the trend or we go against it, and I think we're going to stay with it, and the market's looking we're almost back at 100K. The market's looking like that as well. But what's your opinion on Christopher Waller's comments here?
Well, I think it gives maybe some comfort for people that are in the markets in general, right? It's not just crypto that this affects, the general financial markets. It gives them some comfort because they know at least 3, right? And like you said, if you're gonna have 3, they're not going to pause in between, right? So you're looking at 1, 2, 3, if that's the case. And then if there's 4, that's great, because now we're talking about January, February, March, April,
spring,
which leads perfectly up to May. And if you look back at previous post-halving years, May's kind of that a little bit of that aggressive blow off top of the spring for crypto. So this can lead up perfect for a 4-month rate cut. It's like consecutive rate cut. So could be good.
Yeah, I'm kind of expecting that. I'm kind of expecting, we continue this cycle, especially with Trump coming in and him basically saying that, the rates are still too damn high. And, Jerome Powell can say what he wants. I'm not afraid of Trump. He's not my boss, stuff like that. But you definitely listen to your superiors a little bit, right? And Trump is he's everyone's superior once he becomes president, right? He's the guy leading the charge here, especially with Republican Congress and a Republican Senate. So I just think that, we are going to be in a period of time where the entire economy is bullish. If that lasts till the fall, I doubt it, but we might see maybe some consolidation in the fall. But I think at least spring and summer are going to be really fun.
Yeah, and that's why it's important, like you said with the intro of the show, for you to be paying attention, because we don't know how long this is going to last for once it starts to get really aggressive, right? For me personally, I'm actually kind of throwing away my mentality that I kind of kept after 2021, because 2021 was definitely like a unicorn year. There was, like markets were inflated from crypto to stocks to, collectible assets. But 2017 and 2021, the correlation there was one, there was at least one aggressive period for the crypto market to really pull up. And so you got to be paying attention, because you don't know if that's going to be in the spring, which I still think a small one could happen in the spring if it's not aggressive, and then the aggressive one later this year. But you got to be in and day out, like we are in our audiences. So
100%.
Yep.
Well, we got a Twitch comment real quick, and we don't get Twitch comments, so I definitely they're not happy with us. So hold on, don't give Twitch credit. He says people like you guys who use crypto as an investment and not as a utility will kill crypto. So first off, I use crypto as a utility more than anybody. I use it, pretty much to pay my bills. Like I use it for everything. Crypto is not an investment for me. It is a way of life. So you, my friend, need to tune in for more episodes when you understand like who we are before you kind of judge us from the outside looking in. But thank you for your comment, because we do not get a lot of Twitch comments, and it made me happy. But any comments to this?
Yeah, I mean, I do see where he's coming from though a little bit, right? Because if you look at the overall markets, and then kind of the kind of bro energy that comes out of the crypto ecosystem or community, I see where he's coming from. But as innovation happens, I think it's going to be hard not to use it as a utility, right? Like in terms of AI, and other like actual products. And with regulation, that's going to help. And he might not be a fan of regulation, but it's coming. We have an admin that's already like getting these executive orders ready. David Sachs is his right-hand man for crypto and AI, which right now is just meshing together. So, but I was excited about that comment as well, because we don't see that little purple thing. So give us more comments.
Yeah, if you guys are going to streaming, Twitch is the almost we are growing very quickly on Rumble. I mean, a few followers each day. We've been streaming on Twitch now since like September. We got like 2. Like it is like the hardest place to grow content. So it's pretty wild. But yeah, I was just excited to see a comment come from there. A real one, because we do get bots every now and then, but it was cool to see actually a real one. Even if it was a little bit it upset me a little bit, because it's very judgmental, but it's all right. It's all right. So me and you were both kind of talking this morning, like, there's jobs number today, and that could potentially move markets. Because last week it moved market drastically, but today the actual number was 217,000 jobless claims happened over the last 7 days. The estimate was 210K, and the previous was 203K. So to me, that kind of shows you that people, it's an excuse sometimes when markets, dump or rally on a number that you get every single week, because it's hard to say, just because we got 217 and then 203. I mean, the estimate was 210. It's kind of like in the middle there, right? So I don't know. The jobless claims doesn't really hold a lot of market sentiment to me. I just think that you can probably. I think we should get this once a month. I don't think we should get it every week, because it's hard to say.
Yeah. I'm sure there's some like economic formulas or something that they utilize the weekly one with, but yeah, I mean, it just doesn't seem like they're like, I don't know what a impactful jobless claim difference would be, right? But it doesn't seem like 7,000 would be that much, because they had a previous of 203, and then the estimated was 7,000 more. So I guess they kind of like, shot up 14,000 from the last one. I think that's probably the most impactful way to look at it. But at the same time, it's not something like 40,000 or 50,000, which I think that's something that would maybe move the market to make more sense for that. Like something like that's dramatic.
From like the outside looking in, though, it's crazy to me that 217,000 people each week claim jobless claims, right? Basically get fired, lose a job. That's tough to think about. Obviously, we're going off of millions and millions of people. I think it's like 40 million people or something like that. But so it's only like a very small percent, but still it's crazy to me that 217,000 people lost their jobs last week. It's kind of scary.
That is pretty scary. But is the data correct? Because they're in the middle of the year. We found out that these numbers were to make the current state of our government look better, and so hopefully they corrected it.
We'll see. This is something that kind of annoyed me. This is the first Trump thing that actually annoyed me, but love your opinion on this as well. President-elect Donald Trump is open to creating an American first strategic reserve that prioritizes cryptocurrencies. Absolutely awesome. But such as Solana and XRP. this basically shows me that Trump doesn't understand Bitcoin, because Bitcoin should be the only reserve asset besides gold, in my opinion, only for the sense that Bitcoin was not pre-mined. Bitcoin, is not being held by Brad Garlinghouse, who's dumping billions of it a year. Solana, the same thing with the Solana Foundation. This is not something you add to a strategic reserve at all. And in my opinion, this is not. It just shows me that Trump doesn't understand Bitcoin when these assets are potentially going in as well. I would be very pissed off if either one of these assets went in. But what's your opinion?
So my opinion is this: I don't think we both truly thought that he understood Bitcoin and the fundamentals of it. Right? His kids probably do. His sons do probably, but and then you also have to think about people like David Sachs, right? That are his right-hand man. What is David Sachs like? What is he known for? He's an investor. What is one of the coins that he's heavily invested in? Solana, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that that's what happened, but what I am saying is that when you start putting together a coalition for crypto regulation and pro America crypto, he's going to have a lot of voices in his ear, and we already know he doesn't understand like a lot of these, like the fundamentals of why Bitcoin is so solid, right, as the most solid asset in crypto. And so I think he probably kind of jumps on this like euphoria wagon and makes statements like this, or and if it happens, it happens. At the end of the day, initially, it will push like a positive kind of mass adoption type of mentality, I think. But I agree with you. I think it should really just stick to Bitcoin initially for see how that goes, and then down the road, if there's another asset that doesn't have pre-mine that's solid, maybe you can talk about that.
Yeah, 100%. If the coin doesn't have pre-mine and it's out, like something like I don't know if Litecoin got pre-mined or anything like that. I just don't know enough. But it's something that was never pre-mined. Something like Ethereum should never go in as well. Vitalik just he still holds a lot of his pre-mine, and I just don't like it. Don't agree with it. Bitcoin should be the only strategic asset in there. I'm not saying that because I'm just a Bitcoiner. It's just looking at it. I would hate for him to put XRP in there and be like, oh wow, Ripple just dumped another $70 billion of this, and why are we buying this up and putting it in our? It just makes no sense to me. That's Ripple's biggest moneymaker, is dumping XRP on idiots, and over and over and over, and they just keep buying it and buying it and buying it, and that's how Brad Garlinghouse makes the money that he makes. That's why he's a billionaire, is because he dumps XRP on idiots, and I just don't want to see that in there as a strategic reserve asset. It would actually hurt my pride a little bit.
Well, I would think there would be some sort of control over that, right? Because if you're going to put that in as a strategic reserve, then you got to make sure it doesn't hurt the country, right? That's the number one thing. And so maybe they would be a lot more controlled, which would also not be a great thing, right? In terms of what goes in, what comes out, in terms of entities and stuff that are associated with it, and so I don't know. We shall see. The one thing that I am excited about, though, is the Bitcoin strategic reserve is starting to get contagious and viral for the states, right? And so once, and that just really will influence the federal level and I think Congress as well. If you have like 30 states that have one, they're pretty much voting yes once they create that, right? So
yeah, 100%. So the next thing here is these next three events happened back to back to back within an hour of each other. So the first one was after this news came out, XRP surpasses $180 billion in market cap, right? So that happened after Trump basically said that it could be a strategic reserve asset, and then the SEC came out an hour later and said officially filed an appeal in Ripple XRP lawsuit, which something that we didn't think was going to happen. They came out and basically said before that they weren't going to do that, but they came out after XRP hits 180 billion, after Trump says that potentially could be a reserve asset. They come out with this the appeal to the lawsuit. Coincidence?
I think this was going to happen regardless. Just to kind of throw a shoe at him, like you said yesterday.
Like
throw a shoe at him, just kind of go out and say, I wasn't wrong. If this means that Ripple's going to have to pay more for lawyers, it's kind of like a spit in the face too, right? So,
well, I mean, they just dump more coins on the market and pay their lawyers like they normally do. So
Yeah. Well, another thing that could have been that could kind of be a spit in the face to XRP is the fact that Litecoin's ETF is like almost there, right?
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like we're gonna appeal the Ripple lawsuit and also at the same time try to get the Litecoin ETF pushed through. So it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
and if you look at like Litecoin's market cap and the growth of the market cap and the token and stuff, it's hasn't been like a super hyper aggressive token, right? And so
Yeah.
the ETF would help though, for sure. It would solidify it from a TradFi perspective.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, the next thing was then right after that, Ripple's chief legal officer says SEC's lawsuit is likely to be abandoned by the next administration. So, after that came out, they came out with this, and then you didn't even see it in the market price. The actually price just kept going up after this. You know, especially the SEC has no more. They have no more say anymore. Like they completely lost everything. They can't. This administration's SEC cannot say anything. Nothing will affect the markets at this point, and that feels absolutely amazing. It's going to be a good day. I know, you know, Gensler's obviously we all know he's stepping down, but like it's going to be a good day when Trump gets on stage and he goes, "Gary Gensler, you're fired." That would be absolutely amazing. I hope he says it during his inauguration speech.
Well, I don't think he wants to even let that happen. That's why he announced that he's leaving on that day.
Well, you
know?
can't. It's you can't you can't say Shizzy, you're fired. Your last day is gonna be the first. And me, but no, my day's gonna be the first. I quit. You're like, wait, no, I just fired you.
So he pre-fired him at the Bitcoin conference. I remember that, right?
Yeah.
And
So
then,
he's quitting on the day. So he's fired. He's fired.
Yeah.
But next thing here is this is crazy to me because I can actually see more of this next thing happening. U.S. crypto law firm Berwick Law says it's looking to launch legal action on behalf of investors who have suffered losses in pump.fund meme coins. Like that that's right through my head. It's like saying I'm gonna sue the casino for taking my money. Right? Like, you know what you're getting into. Like, I don't understand. I'd love your opinion on this.
so the casino has rules and regulations that they have to abide by. And when you step in to the casino, you're agreeing to those, terms or whatever. And this has to do with Gary Gensler's fault and the SEC's fault too, right?
Yeah.
For not setting the regulations and the guidelines. But this could get weird. This could get kind of we might see, like, I agree with you. We might see more of this as more regulation comes in and, see a cleanup in a sense, right, of the space. But at least, the bureaucracies or the bureaucratic entities will be there more for guidance and advice instead of like misguiding and not paying attention and only like looking for lawsuits or Wells notices, right? So I think it might get ugly initially and then it smoothen out and have much more of a smooth kind of ecosystem eventually.
Yeah.
That might take like a year and a half, 2 years, that we'll see.
Yeah, I 100% see more and more of this. Right, because what's going to happen in the next couple months, next couple years, really, is we're going to get regular people playing in our system. As being over here now for the last 4 years, going on 5 years here in August. I understand the risks. I understand everything. I understand that I'm a degenerate gambler sometimes, right? So and that comes with what it comes with. But there's gonna be a lot of people coming in these things not understanding really what they're doing, especially younger people who don't really have that mindset, maybe have $500 to their name and want to put it on a meme coin, but are not like understanding, hey, you can get rugged any second. Right. So I do feel like a lot of this is going to happen. It's going to piss a lot of people off. I mean, but that's how I learned. Right. I mean, I didn't really get rugged in the beginning, but I learned from a lot of projects. Hey, like, maybe this isn't the best project to be going all in on when you only have $500, right? So maybe stick to Bitcoin until you.
Well, and there's different levels of it too, right? Like if you look at TradFi, and let's say that like you have very little experience buying stocks, right? Whether it's on Fidelity or if it's on Robinhood, which is a lot more simple, straightforward. And then you go straight into options and calls and puts, right? And then you start, but before you do that, actually, there's like a kind of notification. Hey, look, this is for higher experienced traders and stuff like that. And And so there's definitely warnings within TradFi, but I could lose 100K, trading options, right? And so, but because there's like a lot of kind of hand holding and stuff like that initially getting into there, and regulations kind of making sure that things are not getting crazy, super wild west, it doesn't, you don't get this kind of thing where, groups of people are suing, which with GameStop, actually, it did. It's just they had the bureaucratic entities on their side, right? Like when you talk about the dark pools and stuff like that. I mean, but at the end of the day, I think people want to feel safe. But this is a grown-up thing. I think like you're an adult, right? So like you go into a place, then you got to take the accountability yourself.
Yeah, something I remember. I watched the All In podcast all the time with David Sachs, and one thing he did say, and now that he's in his position, kind of got me thinking. He was saying that he thinks that everyone should have to take a permit type of test. You know how you get your license, you take a permit. He's saying all investors. So he wants to get rid of the to invest in a private company, you need to make a certain amount of money. You need to have a certain net worth. To be considered someone who can invest in SpaceX, for instance, right? But he wants to get rid of that. But he wants to also create something for crypto as well, including that, to where you have to be an accredited investor, somebody who passes the permit test. So you have to go online and take this test, and it basically makes you understand it. It finds out if you have an understanding of, hey, you could lose all your money. And, it's probably going to be simple, easy, really generic questions. But at the same time, by you passing that test is saying you are eligible now to invest in these type of things. What do you think about something like that? A permit to invest in crypto?
I mean, at what level though? Because that's centralized as hell, right? So you're talking
No,
about
it is. So like, I'm talking about like to buy something on Coinbase, you'd have to have this permit.
So I mean, on the centralized exchanges, that could be. And at the end of the day, you got to get it. You got to on ramp somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And so, like anywhere that you're using like a debit card to on ramp or whatever, a bank account to on ramp, then you have to take this test. Maybe, right? Because at that point, you've taken that test, and once you get released into DeFi, then you're released into DeFi. The only other way you'd be able to do it is if you like paid cash to somebody. You can do stuff like that today in different like situations. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about like not crypto, but I'm saying if you want to get around something, you can pay cash. So you some sort of OTC thing, but yeah, it could work because it's kind of like there's an argument against. Hey, they'll be like, well, that's centralized. Well, you're using centralized exchange. You know what I mean? And so it could actually work, and it would kind of cover like the government in the sense of, look, you got to take this is a federal regulation that you have to take this test. How many people would fail it that use DeFi right now?
I think it's gonna be very generic. I think it's gonna be very in the sense of just making sure that you understand that you can lose all your money. But he was saying for the casinos too, when you go into the casino, you're gonna have to have that little badge on your ID to participate.
Mm-hmm.
And for online betting as well, for DraftKings and stuff like that, you'll need that also that thing on your license as well. And I'm kind of down for it, especially if I can invest in like SpaceX and be an accredited investor without my net worth being this insane amount. So
Yasher has a great comment here. He says, okay, what about those who are outside the US? No, investors just need to accept that, and the companies in crypto should have a strong and legal term and service so the investor understands. Correct. Like I think people that are outside the US, that depends on their jurisdiction, right? Or like where they are, right? Whatever their regulation is for that country. And that I think like Coinbase will have to basically conform to what that regulation is for that country through IP address, kind of like how we do now.
Exactly. All right. I got a few more things. We'll just run through these real quickly because we got to get to other stuff. But Switzerland state-owned Post Finance, which is owned by Switzerland, AG Bank launches Ethereum staking. So you now can stake your Bitcoin through basically a state-owned company, which is pretty wild, and you can earn that 6% or whatever. They might take a percentage of that, but on Ethereum on-chain percentage is like 6%.
So the Switzerland bank is launching Ethereum staking. Interesting.
Yeah,
I was anticipating this. But Bitcoin probably be coming up soon, right? Once they have a very secure way of doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's wild. They're starting with Ethereum because it's there. The tech stack is there. It makes sense. But
Yep. And then I'm gonna run this. I forgot to put it as a banner, but I just wanted to run it quick. So Coinbase, you can now Bitcoin backed loans are here. Borrow USDC against Bitcoin without selling it. Rolling out to US users, not New York City, starting now. So this is something that I've been talking about for a long time. I do not want to sell my Bitcoin. At the end of the market, when things are, going crazy, and I want to buy a house or I want to buy something, instead of selling my Bitcoin, I'm going to be one of the people who take a loan out on it, right? And I'm gonna make sure my liquidation price is super low, right? Like, almost impossible to get to to take out. Let's just say that I have $300,000 in collateral. I take out 70,000, right? Something that where it gets my liquidation price pretty low. But this is something that I've been looking forward to, especially someone like Coinbase, who I know will be here in 10 years. I would love to do it through my bank, but Coinbase is just as good in my opinion.
yeah, and them being like they're going to be the U.S. exchange, right? I know that like Gigi was trying to get FTX to be that, but
Yeah.
Coinbase is that, and then they're going to be like the largest institution in terms of the U.S. And so, what other I guess you can't really get more comfort than that in terms of where we are right now. So yeah, this is going to be big, but people need to really position themselves to be able to take advantage of this.
Yeah.
Right. So let's say that you're in, some we can say some majors, some mid caps, and some micros, and you do very well this cycle. For me personally, I'm going to sell back into Bitcoin and then leverage that Bitcoin. Pretty much what the rich dude have been doing for the past like 100 years, right? Yeah, exactly, right. So you utilize your money to make more money. You don't want to liquidate your money, right? And to buy assets, you want to use the bank's capital to get more assets. This is not financial advice. This is just obvious, right? So
especially when you're selling an asset like Bitcoin, that there's more than 21 millionaires in the country, in the whole entire world, and they all can't own one Bitcoin, right? Why would you want to give up your Bitcoin knowing that it's going to be, in the next 100 years, it's going to be $1 trillion asset? Like, each Bitcoin is probably going to be worth $1 trillion, in my opinion, in 100 years from now, right? Like, it's something insane. But it's one of those things where, like, why would you want to give it up for dollars that they can just print at any given minute, right? They can print $1 trillion, and they can print it at any minute, so. But yeah, exactly. So that's kind of my point on it. I never want to give up my Bitcoin, but I also want things in life. I want a house. I want potentially, I want things, right? I want my family to have things and not just have this rock just sitting there. Maybe, take a loan out on it, and then when I'm ready to pay that loan back, just like 30 years, who knows, right? But then maybe in that 30 years, that Bitcoin skyrockets in value, right? So it could be fun.
Yep.
Exactly. All right, let's get into that Bitcoin fear and greed start. So, where is it? Oh, I forgot. I got rid of it. But all right. So from I think yesterday. Well, okay, yesterday was a 70. Last Thursday was a 69. Where do you think we're at today? I'll give my hint for you is we're definitely greedy for sure.
75.
Dude. Dead on, bro.
Yay!
75.
Got it.
Congratulations.
I rarely hit it on the head, so
it was funny. I was talking to Superfan, and he was like, "Did I play along with you guys when you guys do that all the time? I always throw out a number, and I'm always wrong." So that was cool. He's like, "Yagobi's always pretty close. It's great. It's great." I was like, "Yeah, shout out to Superfan as well." But let's get into that Bitcoin price action brought to you guys by BitPerp. BitPerp is going to be the leading leverage trading platform. And they got some big news coming. They're going to be more than that, guys. We talked to them yesterday. We have a video coming out with them to tune into that. But there's going to be a tweet later today that's going to change everything for BitPerp. And you guys want to be a part of this. You guys want to be taking advantage of potentially airdrops. Potentially, I mean, I don't know. I think they're going to try to enrich their community, guys. That's what good projects do. And you guys want to be a part of that. Want our community to benefit. Especially when all you're doing is giving your time. You're not investing anything. You're not giving them anything. Nothing. All you're kind of doing is putting your time in, testing their platform, learning how to paper trade at the same time. And BitPerp is going to reward you for that. So be a part of that. Be a part of it's the first time too that you kind of get to play with Botanic's testnet. So that's a benefit as well. And if Botanix ever did an airdrop, they're saying they won't, but we know things change very quickly. But who knows? Maybe you can get an airdrop for that as well. So definitely want to go to bitperp.io and tune into their Twitter. There's gonna be a big announcement. Put the notifications on, guys. Something you're not going to miss.
Yep. And it could be today or tomorrow, but yeah, turn those notifications on for them because they will have that announcement. And I think Arbitrum also said that they weren't going to launch a token initially, and that changed. So you never know.
That's true.
The biggest thing is pay attention because a lot of Bitcoin layer 2s are going to be rolling out. A lot of Bitcoin scaling solutions are going to be rolling out. 2025 is the year for the Bitcoin ecosystem. But before we get into the Bitcoin price action, guys, if you could help us out on the YouTube side, smash that like for us and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and turn those notifications on so you know when we go live. On the X side, guys, if you wouldn't mind sharing the space, we want to educate as many people as possible and onboard them to the Bitcoin ecosystem, and hit that like as well. But let's go ahead and get into some very volatile Bitcoin price action here. Make sure I'm on the right page. All right. Yes. I am looking here at the hour chart, which is where I start off because it gives me kind of some insight on what the second half of today would look like. And if we started our show 2 hours ago, I would be completely confused of where the second half would go today because it was just up and down, up and down. So, excuse me. As you can see, we got up to about almost 101,000, 100,850 yesterday. And then we started pulling back. Which was understandable. We had this big leg up. We started pulling back here and kind of had a little bit of a Bart Simpson here. Didn't finish the pattern all the way through, but we went through the 50-day EMA. So that's something you got to pay attention to if that happens. We've been above it though for a while, since the 13th. So since Monday, we've been above the 50-day EMA, and this channel right here is the 50-day EMA. So it's good that we got back above it because we did get as low as 75,300. And like Shizzy was talking about earlier today, there was some stories. I don't know if it's manipulation or what, but the stories definitely kind of seemed like it affected the price from a psychological level, and people started dumping. And then another kind of headline came in, and it looks like we are back where we started. And so for the second half of today, looks pretty bullish since we, the leading indicators here are looking like, we are almost done with the oversold part of the stochastic RSI. You can see the blue leading stochastic line is at a score of 50. Getting to 20 takes us out, so we are heading back up. I do think we cross back over 100,000. I think that's an easy kind of prediction here, or forecast. The MACD looks really, really good too. Looks like it's exhausted on the sell pressure. The leading blue MACD line also looks like it wants to start ticking up here. So it looks like we're in a good spot, to at least get back above 100,000. Do we stay above 100,000? I'm not sure, but the second half of today, I do think we do get there. Not financial advice. Let's see if we stay there though. So the 4 hour gives us more insight for the next 2-3 days, and looks okay. Doesn't look super, super great, but looks okay. As you can see, we still have buy pressure on the MACD. It looked like it wanted to turn as we had that sell pressure early this morning, but then it turned right back. So it's like making a U-turn, right? You can see the lead indicating line here on the 4 hour chart wanting to kind of prop back up here. The stochastics though doesn't look super, super great. If the hour chart continues, we go past 100,000, get to 101,000, this will probably start to turn on the next candle. And so it doesn't look horrible, doesn't look great. It's kind of in the middle. We just kind of need the shorter time frame to get more bullish to turn this around. I would say let's see how the rest of today goes. And then we can see what the 4 hour chart looks like tomorrow, and then maybe give a little bit more of a projection into the weekend.
Yeah, man. And it looks like we're at 99,600. You did say we could pass over. Do you definitely see us over 100K tomorrow?
Well, we just bounced back because we were at 99,800 just now. I mean, it looks pretty. The setup looks great. Like on the hour chart here, the setup looks pretty good. Let's see what support and resistance looks like though. I'm gonna kind of get more of a localized time data set here. And let's see what this looks like for support versus resistance here. So you can see there's a battle happening right here at 99.5. It's definitely more resistance here. A little bit more support above that, then more support. So support is pretty strong above this 99.5 mark. The 99.5 mark is and it's close. It's like you're looking at like very, very close here. And this data goes back to let's see, Tuesday. Let's bring it even further in. But yeah, so it looks like, you know, this 99.5 kind of area is where we're having some difficulty right here, 99.5. And we got past that, and then everything above this looks pretty good for the most part. I don't know. We got to kind of get back up here. Once we get back up here, we'll blow past it. So I think we get back to 99.8. I think we can jump through that and get to 100K. We'll see. We'll see. I mean,
Yeah, man.
you know, my mind changed 3 times this morning because of all the volatility.
All right. Let's get to that roll call, guys. And I'm making a list and I'm checking it twice, like I'm Santa, guys. Let me bring this up. So this is the list here. So yesterday was WebDrive. Today was PJNZ. Congratulations, you, my friend. It is your second win of the year. Yasher's still leading with 4 wins. Shout out to Yasher, but you guys are catching up to him. You guys are 2 wins away from taking his crown. But we're doing this all year, guys. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. I can't wait to see who leads the charge. I really appreciate it. And there's going to be a big prize. We haven't figured it out yet what it's going to be. We'll let you guys know when it is. But we're going to have something really big for the winner of this. I think that it's well deserved, especially if it's the full year. So we will see. We will see. But anyway, let's kind of get into the roll call here. But like I said, PJNZ, first is first. Congratulations to you, my friend. And I felt bad because I walk alone. He had it the one day, and I seen it. But then I turned my computer off and I came back on and it was gone. And he's like, I should have won. And I was like, sorry, man. Like, there's nothing I can do. YouTube deletes it. But shout out to PJNZ. Yeah, no worries. WebDro in that second spot. Shout out to WebDro here every single day. The winner from yesterday. Tim Baker, AOD Art is here. Shout out to Tim. Yasher in the building like every single day. Another day in heaven. Shout out to you, my friend. Gary D is here as a GM, guys, approaching the final call to allocate yourself to Bitcoin ecosystem. TikTok, let's go. Shout out to Gary D, man. You've been showing up every single day. I appreciate you. PJNZ again. Ordinals tweets is here. He says, Shizzy and Yagobi, devour the holy Bitcoin. Shout out to Ordinals tweets. Where's your brother at, bro? Then we got Bitmap Capital in here. Mempool Punk is here. Glass Hopper in the building. Shout out to Glass Hopper. Glass Hopper. Potentially, we might be doing a show with Foxy this Sunday where we're going to be jumping in the game. I know you were one of the people who attended to that, so we'll let you guys know. We'll send you guys a link if you want to join us. It could be fun. Just letting you know. Steve Verse is here. That will be Saturday morning. Shout out to Steve Verse. Happy Homers here. Let's rock and roll. Pelpa in the building. Chief Axel. Let's go. And Nagi every single day. Nighthawk UXL. Shout out to you, my friend, out there whipping that Uber to the LA. I hope it's still there. But shout out to you, my friend. I Walk Alone is here. Ant-Man is here. Choda's in the building. Big Cuz Discuss. I love you, buddy. Then we have Mike Bennett. No is here. Mr. Deb goes GM. Hope L. Raul Lito is considering increase the Fluid Pass staking rewards at least 400K. And now that we hit 400 total stake passes, we would great news for tomorrow. So I'm not sure if you know this, but 100K fluid is $50,000. Like, it's not like a little bit of money, dude. Like, I want him to do it too, but I'm actually grateful that he's put up $150,000 of his own money, of the company's funds here, of these fluid tokens in this. So let's be grateful for what we got. I mean, I want another 100K in there too. I have 20 passes that I've staked, but let's 150K between the 400 of us. I mean, it's not that bad. But and we got Mike Bennett, Akala is here, Steamy J, shout out to you. Jamie Coin said Merlin is actually the shit. Don't talk about it anymore. Sorry, Jamie Coin. Well, we love it here. We're bullish on it. We're bullish on Jeff. He's been amazing to this the crypto space. We're sorry you feel that way. We hope you change your mind.
Yeah.
But
well, I wanted to make a comment about that real quick. So you got to remember that this is the first year that Merlin launched 2024 was, and they're considered a mid cap. So right now, mid cap and micro cap, like micro cap's getting hit the hardest, mid cap's getting hit hard. Majors, some of them, not all of them, some of them are showing stability. So if you look at Bell's Coin, which is the in between micro and mid, I mean, that took a huge hit. If you look at Fractal Bitcoin, that's taken a huge hit. If you look at Magic Eden, huge entity, huge hit, right? So you just got to be patient, is what I'm doing, and it will come. is my personal opinion. So, anyways,
Yeah, and he says never seen a token like this. You must just be a Bitcoiner. I guess you can just look out. I can look out my window and find 3 right now. So yeah. Yasher says, okay, we get this comment already. Shout, you got that at one right already?
yeah.
Okay. We got Sammy Turnpike right down the street. Shout out to Sammy Turnpike. I feel like Sammy's like a old gangster, man. Italian gangster. Shout out to Sammy. Yasher is here. Shout out to Yasher. And the PJZ said, first is first. I'm coming for you, Yasher. I'm coming for you, says PJNZ. Shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to PJNZ. He is number 1. He's a very competitive person. I can tell right well because he's number 1 on BTC. And he's trying to get that number 1 spot from Yasher. Shout out to all you guys, man. Appreciate all 200 of you guys tuning in right now. Yeah, let's get it.
Cool.
All right. The first set of news here. I don't have much, but I kind of just want to show you guys because I think this is huge. But Rocktoshi has 1 more loading slot left. I think we need to be paying attention if you're not yet. But where did that go? He basically automated himself, which basically means he made his account an AI. As we're calling it these days, but he also is loading something, and a lot of people are thinking that potentially he's going to be doing some type of project that has to do with AI and Bitcoin. It's all speculation right now because we know nothing. But what do you think he means by this?
I don't know, but the last time I saw that loading thing was right before Node Monks announced that they were gonna launch. And so it was constantly like loading. And then we got the announcement of it's going to be a free mint. And then never mind, it's going to be a Dutch auction. And everybody got pissed. But a lot of people made a lot of money off of Node Monks. Anyhow, so I think he is utilizing this as a kind of build up hype and mystery behind, that's just kind of goes with hand in hand with Rocktoshi, right? He's mysterious. Yeah. No one, there's a couple of people have met him in person, but like one thing for sure is he can move markets. That is something he is good at. He's good at getting collections going and stuff like that with Bitcoin rocks and all those early inscriptions and stuff like that. So my anticipation and expectation is that it's going to be something big. And you got to figure it out because he's probably going to leave breadcrumbs like this.
Yeah, man. I hope it's something tomorrow. That'd be huge tomorrow if he's like, hey, the mint's live and your Ordinal is now an AI or something crazy, right? I don't know, but we'll see. News from Merlin Chain. This is massive. So AI on Merlin Chain just got an upgrade. We're thrilled to announce that Eliza OS, built by AI16Z DAO, is now live on Merlin Layer 2. Yagobi, what does this mean? What is he talking about here?
So Eliza is Shaw, I think, right? Shaw is the person that's behind it. And so AI 16Z. That's the So anyhow, it's like the biggest project on Solana right now, in my opinion. And it really is kind of like this framework to where people can build AIs off of. But what they did is they kind of went through some of the more popular chains and enabled wallet integration and plugins for people to create. So now if you want to create using AI 16Z for Merlin chain, you can do so much easier than having to like just scrape the code from then and try to kind of jailbreak it, I guess, if you will. And now they're going to make it simple and easy for builders to build for specific chains. So Merlin's a part of that group, and they added Bitcoin as well. So it's exciting to see this update. Look, you might be mad about the price of the token or whatever, but one thing you cannot deny is the partnerships being made and the TVL that has been there and kind of spread out. And these partnerships are like daily. So you're talking about Bitcoin OS, you're talking about Eliza OS, you're talking about Newbit, you're talking about all these things. Like I could just go on and on with this long list. And so this to me is just another bullish update from their team.
Yeah, 100%. And you have to remember, nothing is popping right now, right? Nothing besides AI. If it's not AI, nobody cares. And you can go through every ecosystem. Everyone, I don't care what it is. Every coin that does not have an AI narrative has been kind of down only since, like, I want to say September. A lot of money's coming out of these other coins, and going into these AI plays. But now Merlin has become technically an AI play. And it might take a couple days or months to kind of really push that narrative, but you need stuff to get built first. But this is the framework is there now. Eliza OS on Merlin, absolutely huge. I mean, for Jeff to get that to happen, I mean, I'm sure every chain is trying to get this, and Jeff pulled it off. So congratulations to Merlin chain. But let's see what people build with it now. I mean, if it doesn't matter what you put on your chain if people aren't building there, but I do think that people will be building there, especially with Eliza's now.
Yeah, I agree. Something's gonna hit big there. I mean, it's a numbers game at this point. Like you have so many partnerships, integrations, and stuff. There's gonna be one of those killer apps or platforms.
Yeah, man. The next thing here is pretty cool. It's RuneMine, Mine Labs. Their Genesis is live. Key holders, this is your moment. You have 24 hours to secure your early access mine allocation. So if you are a key holder, you can participate in their pre-sale, basically. So you just go to their Twitter, and let me show my screen here, and they have a link on their Twitter. It's right here. Just kind of go to their Twitter. It's at Mine Labs _, and then come down, and you guys can just click this link right here. It's at app.runemine.com/minegenesis, and that'll take you to this page right here. I was looking at this morning because it's pretty cool. If you are a key holder, you have to connect your Bitcoin wallet, but then you're able to use Solana, USDC, or USDT to purchase mine tokens. So you'll put the amount in here, and that's up to you guys. This is an opportunity. I want to do this, but I don't own a key, but I might go out and purchase a key, so I am able to do this. I don't know. I think this is a utility play in Bitcoin, right? That's my biggest thing. I want utility plays that are Bitcoin. I want Liquidium. I want Fluid. I want RuneMine. I want Arch. I want, everything else that is a utility play. I want it in my portfolio. And this is something that if I don't get it here, I might get it on the open market. It is a Solana token, but we do know they are a bridge, right? That's one of their biggest features. So it'll probably be a Rune as well. But it's things that are, it's actually a benefit when they are a Solana token because I think it actually gets them listed on exchanges, which pumps your bag, right? And if it's a Rune, you definitely want your bags pumped, especially right now. So it's definitely something that I will be hopping into. What about you?
Yeah. We talked a little bit about this with during the meeting that we had before the show about how builders are they're building in multiple different ecosystems at the same time for a product suite offering almost, or like a collaborative product, right? An example would be RuneMine. The bridge is from Bitcoin to Solana and vice versa, right? They're focusing on runes, but they're also utilizing Near protocol, which is a whole nother blockchain, to have this secure way of verifying off-chain compute, right? And so they have a prover network, right? And then now their tokens on Solana. So they're utilizing Bitcoin, Solana, and Near, right? This is just one example. So this is the biggest thing that I'm seeing that's different from builders this cycle compared to last cycle. 100%. Last cycle, they were honed in on what was hot, what chain was hot. They were building for that. If that chain cooled down, they would build on another chain right after. What people are doing now is they're utilizing their product suite offering for multiple chains, and so I really love this. And so it's exciting. In terms of the keys, I think it's really cool because I think that's an ordinal, by the way.
Yeah. Yep.
And see, they're utilizing Bitcoin technology there. And then you're going to get the Solana token. And it's just builders are different this cycle, and one thing I'll say too is RuneMine is doing this, but there's so many other builders that are touching Bitcoin's ecosystem and leveraging another ecosystem at the same time. Like they're doing it, it's like that's what makes me stay bullish on where we are. And I think we made the right decision. At times it's been tough. At times it's been amazing and been easy to be here. But I think right now we got to look at stuff like RuneMine. How many different projects are similar to RuneMine, but different ecosystems? And I think I can probably count between maybe 10 and 15, and that's just the ones I know of. So.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just excited for anything utility, right? I'm excited for anything that's not just a meme coin. I hate meme coins. I just can't hold them. I just don't believe in them. So for me, I would love to see, the top 10 runes, maybe 6 of them being play actual real utility cases. Stuff like RuneMine, stuff like Liquidium, stuff like Fluid. and Ordinal Hive as well. And there's been many more coming, and that's what keeps me bullish. If it wasn't for that aspect, if it wasn't for the aspect of there's a lot of utility plays coming, there's a lot of projects building here, we would probably be a AI revolution at this point. But we understand that our ecosystem is more than just what it is now and what it's going to be. I mean, Bitcoin, you've only been able to really build on Bitcoin since Taproot, and it took people years and years to figure out how, and Casey did it. And then he did it again with runes. And so really excited to see the future of what people build on top of his creation. So
Yep, exactly.
all right. I kind of the other thing would be that, you know, Fluid, they're gearing up, guys, to close this thing. You got a couple more days. Tomorrow's Fluid's Friday, but I definitely want to give you guys, you know, make sure you guys are understanding that once this closes, this closes. If you hold a pass, you're running out of time here. So let me show my screen here. If you go to staking, it's only a few more days away. So you have until Sunday. Get over here, guys. If you have a pass, if we officially have 400 pass staked here. I'm still seeing, you know, you're going to be getting around, you know, probably like 300 Fluid tokens, maybe a little more than that per pass. But Raul tomorrow is going to give us stats on exactly how many black passes are staked, how many orange passes staked. We're going to give you the exact number of if you stake your passes. So we'll see what happens here. But I mean, there's only 1,000 passes and 400 of them staked. That's 40%, and we do know that you know, they all weren't sent out, so they still have a bunch of them kind of sitting in the vault that they could do whatever with one day. But I don't know, maybe another airdrop, who knows? But potentially, you know, we might be able to get like a bunch of these locked up, and it's very the amount on Magic Eden right now to buy these. I mean, there's like 10 that you can buy at this point.
Yeah. And we're going to get stats actually to before Sunday midnight, which would be technically Monday morning, of how many people are actually staked and all what the split will be and all that good stuff.
Yeah, he said tomorrow for Fluid Friday, so we should have it tonight.
Awesome.
So yeah, so you just come here, type in Fluid passes. I just want to actually just see how many that are staked here. So go here, type in Fluid.
Staked? You can see from there?
Sorry. No. I mean, like how many that are left? Because there isn't many. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there is still, yeah. I need to go to 0.2. So yeah, there isn't many though. Stops here. But
there was 1,000 total, right?
Yeah, 1,000 total.
Yeah.
So if you have a pass, guys, stake it. They're kind of expensive right now, though. It's $2,600. I was telling you guys at 0.0007, they were like $35.
Wait, what's the floor right now?
0.0026, which is like $260.
That's wild. That's crazy.
And I was getting mine for $35, dude.
Yeah. That's why it pays to watch the show and pay attention.
Pays to pay attention. Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
I Walk Alone says, if you get first in the graveyard, leave the tab open until the show. It gives you the receipts. Bro, there's nothing I can do. I want to give you that win, but I just can't. I can't give it to you. It sucks. You just yell at YouTube. There's nothing I can do. I want you to win, I Walk Alone. I wanted you to win that day, but there's nothing I can do, my friend. I don't kill, says. I'm glad you don't kill.
That's a very creepy picture, PFP.
He said, let's go. That's all you guys. And we're about to enter Arch Thursdays in a few minutes. Was there anything else you want to get into before we get into Arch?
We got a couple minutes before that. I kind of want to see how the runes are doing, but I kind of don't because I haven't looked recently. Oh man, here we go. How bad does it hurt?
It's bad, bro. 500 million for dog.
I mean, that's been steady. That's been steady the past like 5 days. That's a little bit better. It got bad. That. I mean, I think the low was 29 million.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then what else we got there?
How's Pups looking strong?
How's Pups doing?
I mean, 70 million.
70 million.
Dude. Remember this thing was like 300 million. It was competing with Dog at one point.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. But you could tell there was a lot of Solana money because a lot of it went back to Solana.
Yeah. Yep. So let me ask you this. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, we know kind of what the issues are with runes and how fungible tokens, quote, fungible tokens are just clunky and they're not fun to trade here. But what would you say runes like took up for the entire industry's mind share at one point at the top? Would you say it had like 70% of the industry's mind share at the very top of
The
Runes? Like what?
industry?
Well, if you think about it, like Mika and all those like influencers that
Yeah.
are big, Ansem and all them, they were talking about Runes, and they got disappointed after it launched, but they were talking about it, and it was a big
Yeah,
hype.
but that was like a very small segment of the show, right? That was like a very, I would say 16% mind share.
Really,
Yeah,
really,
it was super low.
16%. Ooh,
You got to think, dude. Like, people just don't. They don't even know how to use our ecosystem. Like the people. Like I go on TikTok all the time. I follow a bunch of like crypto traders and stuff. I'll go on there like, yo, what do you think about runes? And a lot of them, most of them say, oh, they were really interesting. But they kind of fell off, and I don't even know. They're not even on any exchanges, right? So like 60% of the people around, like they buy on exchanges, right? So it's like it's hard to say Runes had anything more than 20%. Would you disagree?
No, I do disagree. I think the hype up leading to the launch, I think it was like 60%. 60%. I would say 60%, but it was for a short period of time. It was whenever like I said, the hype up was happening. You had Thread Guy, you had like I said, the Minka girl, and you had Wendio. Everybody was on board with them. Right. And then very quickly after launch, that kind of dissipated. Right. So for a short period of time. And the reason why I even asked this is because I bring it up to, about like the 2015, 16, when we weren't like in it every day. Right. Yeah. And you had the Pepe Cash and those Bitcoin counterparty tokens and stuff like I never heard about those. Even in 2017. Like whenever I came back and went through that bull run, like no one was talking about those that I knew, but I also wasn't in Twitter every day like I am now and stuff like that. So I say that because like that's why I think that these tokens, the Rune ecosystem tokens, will have that push and that's why I think everybody's racing, including Arch Network and stuff like that, for the scaling solution to make people trade them easier and have more liquidity. Because it back then, I don't think there was an initiative nearly as strong. It was just a couple builders and stuff. So maybe that can give some people a little bit of hope after looking at those market caps. I had to bring some positive outlook.
I mean,
there.
they're getting beat up, man. But we're hoping Arch can save us. But let's kind of get into it. It's officially Arch Thursday, guys. Arch is gonna. I mean, they're kind of my only hope right now at this point. I'm really looking forward for Arch to save our ecosystem, and I think they will. Last time we talked to Nick, he basically said maybe February. So I'm kind of really looking forward to Q1 for this launch. And what they're gonna bring Solana like speed, Solana fun, Solana craziness with Bitcoin like finality. You're going to be able to, it's basically all your, like, at the end of that block, the block's when you put on Bitcoin, all your transactions, you can make 100 transactions, they will all get rolled up and put on Bitcoin. So you get Solana speed with Bitcoin's finality. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. So without further ado, let's bring in Nick. Nick, welcome back to Ordinal Revolution.
How's it going, y'all? Good to see you.
Good
to see you.
Yeah, man.
As well. So first of all, did Shizzy put a ton of pressure on you just now because he said that Arch Network is here to save the Bitcoin ecosystem?
Honestly, I'm trying to save my own bags too at this point, right? I
love it.
I'm a true believer. I came into the Bitcoin ecosystem later than some of y'all, about May of last year. And so, for me, and that was when I started working with Arch and writing the white paper and doing all this stuff. And so then I started investing probably around November and put in some serious money. And so I, that's kind of the top of the top. I wasn't one of you guys who's been investing since it was worth nothing, right? So my runes are down bad. My runes are down bad, but you know what? It's fun, and I love the communities that we're working with, and I am bullish that this will all return. But this is definitely believe season. This is definitely people told me that bull season, bull cycle, Bitcoin, everything was easy mode, and we're entering easy mode when everything was going up to 100K and everything. And man, it hasn't been easy from an investment standpoint, that's for sure.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen an example of working for your bags like this. He's literally building the scaling solution for it. But you guys have a big announcement from the ecosystem today, right? I think there's a launch that you do you want to get into that a little bit?
And do we have Cha-Ching with us here as well? I just want to make sure that
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'll go ahead and lead us off, but like feel free to bring them up because they're the real stars of the show today, and super excited to have them here because Arch is excited to announce that Cha-Ching is launching on Bitcoin using Arch. And we're super excited about this because this is going to be one of the key pillars of the functioning Bitcoin DeFi ecosystem. And to be able to do it natively is going to be so sick and so wild. And talking about saving our bags, but not just saving our bags, but actually, creating the opportunity for bags and for a functioning DeFi system on Bitcoin, unlike anything we've seen before. And it starts with projects like this. So with that introduction, Cha-Ching is a borrow lend platform, lend borrow platform similar to like an Aave style thing that you might have seen on Ethereum. It allows for not just peer-to-peer lending, which is kind of what's existed on Bitcoin so far and in really clunky ways, but it allows for the actual ability to do peer-to-pool lending and to connect liquidity across multiple sources across the Bitcoin ecosystem, using Arch to be that kind of mechanism for communicating across different protocols and offering that liquidity. And so Cha-Ching is going to be, we just posted a huge thread on it. We posted a blog about it too. If we want to post that in the chat, that would be great. But this is going to be huge for the ecosystem. I can't overstate that enough. So with that, happy to answer any questions, or we can turn it over to Ferks, but whatever you guys prefer, and just super excited about this because it's going to be a historic moment for Bitcoin, especially once we hit mainnet with it. Right now it's on testnet, of course.
Yeah, 100%. And I do love the name, Cha-Ching. It kind of gives you that meme vibe, and I love that teams are doing that now. They're kind of, it's not like boring stuff like Aave. I couldn't pronounce it for the first 3 months. So, but I do like the meme aspect of a lot of these teams are doing. And Cha-Ching, it sounds fun. It sounds exciting. It sounds definitely something that DGens are gonna love. But Fergus, man, would love to hear your voice. How you doing?
Hey, GM, am I audible, guys?
GM.
Sound good?
Yep.
GM, hi, Shizzy, Yagobi, Nick. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you for the warm intro. And yeah, pretty excited for what's coming up next for the entire Bitcoin ecosystem and, Arch in particular. So the name Cha-Ching, does it ring a bell for you guys? Like, how do you like the name Cha-Ching?
It's like coin.
Like coin, right? It resonates with money, right? So that was the actual idea behind naming this lending protocol Cha-Ching, right? So it's the need of the hour on Bitcoin, and I want to start with giving like a brief about what I do, what I've been doing in the Bitcoin ecosystem, and a little bit of briefing about the team as well. So we have been building products for the Bitcoin ecosystem since the early days of Ordinals, right? So we were there when Casey inscribed Inscription 0, and been involved in the Bitcoin ecosystem since quite a while now, and been in crypto from 2016, and kind of seen all the cycles and stuff. So always resonated with the idea of Bitcoin, like heavy decentralization, and all of us are here because of Bitcoin only. So we always wanted to do something on that part. So we kept on shipping products. So the first product that we shipped was Ordbit, right? And we're the co-founders of Ordbit as well. And we've been doing like Ordinals launch pads. We are a marketplace for Cat 721. We are live on Bitcoin mainnet, and exploring like other chains as well. But apart from that, we actually built the first soulbound token on Bitcoin layer 1, like on Bitcoin itself, and that was 2023, right? So we've been building like amazing stuff on Bitcoin, just building, man, and we've gotten like very good responses from folks all across the eco. But this is something that we personally wanted to work on, right? So Bitcoin has maximum liquidity, like all of us know about it. But how do we sort of help everyone in the world to leverage from just okay, there's one thing about holding Bitcoin, that's okay, anyone can do that. But what if you make that Bitcoin actually work for you, and the Bitcoin is just lying down there, it's growing, but what if you earn a yield on top of that, right? This was the initial problem statement that we were discussing in and out. Like, we went to all these Bitcoin conferences, we had like meetings with all the maxis, and been traveling and discussing this all across the world. And we actually figured a pain point that people actually need this. I mean, people are they believe in holding Bitcoin for long, for sure, but having a certain way of earning a yield on top of it is welcomed by anyone, right? But it has to be in a very secure and safe environment, right? Like, I wouldn't want to put my Bitcoin where I don't trust the safety, right? Where the systems are not very secure, right? So that's how we were just exploring different ways of doing it. And then finally we met Matt, and started off at the Bitcoin Startup Lab. So we were at the same cohort, me and Matt and Amin as well. So we've been knowing each other since those days. And yeah, and then we were like, we actually understood the tech, and then we're like, okay, this is the way ahead. And we came up with Cha-ching, right? Because according to us, and we strongly believe that peer-to-peer lending is not scalable at all,
Wow.
right? Yeah, you cannot scale peer-to-peer lending. This is not from a Web3 perspective only, but we've actually we come from the fintech space in Web2, right? We've built like good companies in the Asia Pacific region. We used to do 25 million monthly volume in the fintech Web2 side of things that we were in, and we understand the market. We actually understand the mitigation of risks when it comes to lending and borrowing of assets. And we're just applying the same experience and expertise here on Bitcoin with Cha-ching. So peer to peer is not scalable at all. I mean, it's like you if you want to borrow something, right? You put something as collateral, and then you have to wait for the lender to actually approve it, accept the collateral, and then you dispense off the BTC that you require. So it's like a very cumbersome process, and it's broken, right? So peer to pool solves it. So the only problem with peer to pool on Bitcoin was that you could not actually do smart contracts. So there's no sort of a very decentralized kind of a setup, right? That's why people were very skeptical about it. But Arch solves exactly that, right? So that is why we thought it was like a perfect fit. And using the smart contract capabilities of Arch, we can actually build the peer-to-pool, the first ever peer-to-pool on Bitcoin, and it it will be functional for sure, right? And then people don't have to worry about having their assets in a very security compromised way, right? Uh, okay, not sure. Okay, that's Nick. Okay, sorry for that.
No
I
worries.
just pop up. So yeah, yes. So Cha-ching is gonna work exactly like Aave, right? Why we use Aave over here is because when you tell them, okay, Cha-ching is the Aave for Bitcoin, people actually understand what the product is, right? So you don't have to go like in and out about explaining what exactly the functionality of the product is, right? So it'll be like an Aave like platform built on Bitcoin, offering decentralized lending, borrowing, and staking, right? And you know. The actual mission and the vision is to democratize financial access and bring DeFi's benefits to Bitcoin holders globally, right? That's what we actually aim at. And starting off with the Bitcoin ecosystem, you can have like ordinals, runes, and certain BRC20s as collateral, and you can just put them in a pool and get BTC directly out of the pool. So you don't have to wait for the lender to actually sign that transaction for you, right? And you know how degens function, right? The patience level of degens is like less than zero, man. Like if you need some assets, like you need to put money in some assets, and sometimes all of us, like we know, I'm sure all of you all also need a little bit. So we need that Bitcoin there and then, right? So what do? We go to a product like Aave, right? Right now in the Web3 world, and you can just keep some collateral and borrow the asset that you need, like be it a stable coin or be it any other crypto. Now, it is a proven concept, and we were like, what the heck? Why aren't we doing this on Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin is where all the liquidity is, and people actually trust Bitcoin, right? So lending, borrowing, peer to pool makes sense only on Bitcoin. So that's why we actually built this entire mechanism, right? So yeah, and it's going to be a little different from Aave, because what we're essentially doing is we're putting an added feature, an additional layer of an on-chain reputation system, right? So what an on-chain reputation system is going to do is there is a way through which you just put your wallet address. You don't, I mean, if you want, you can connect your wallet, but if you can just put your wallet address on our systems, and you can check your on-chain reputations. So that is like your wallet is your on-chain identity, and what we do with that is we get like a lowdown of the assets that are there, the runes, the ordinals, whatever your wallet holds. And there are certain check boxes that we check, like if the wallet has how the wallet has performed uh, before on our platform. Were there any defaults or stuff like that? Okay, I think Nick is sharing his screen, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
while
he's
you talk, I'm just showing a little bit of the screen and kind of how it works. I don't know, were you guys able to see the last? It was about like a minute of me doing it. I can go back.
yeah. Go back if you wouldn't mind, just so they can see. And I wanted,
Absolutely.
yep,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, I
Is
want
the
to give you
link
guys,
available
because
now or not yet?
first was talking about what this is, and so I just wanted to show you guys a glimpse of the website and all that. And first, I'll let you jump back in here in a second, but let me go ahead and give them a quick demo.
Yeah,
So we've got Cha-Ching here. This is live. This is cha-ching.digital, and you can check it out. Decentralized bank on Bitcoin, because it does all the functions that a bank should do, right? Borrow, lend, earn, leverage. You can launch the app, and we'll do that in a second. But right now, the two things what Ferks was talking about here is the on-chain reputation. And this is interesting because like this adds a layer that even Aave doesn't have, right? So right now on Aave, if you supply assets, your rates are the same as anyone else in terms of both what you're earning, and then also if you borrow against those assets, your interest rate, how much you have to spend, right? So what you can do is if you check your on-chain reputation with Cha-Ching, which you can click this button, or if you go down here, you can also do it here. Check now. It'll ask you for your testnet 4 Taproot wallet address. That's because that's what we're using on Arch right now is testnet 4. So go ahead and do that. You can also connect it, through this. Boom, you click it. And this is going to check in testnet your testnet assets. So just like on Aave, if you want to see like, okay, what can I borrow? You have to actually show like what you have, right? So what this is doing is this is checking what you have in your wallet. And okay, you've got a pretty good score, and that's Bitcoin native assets. So that's native Bitcoin, or in this case, TBTC, right? Testnet Bitcoin. It's also, Rune's BRC20s. I believe they will eventually have Ordinal support too. So another way to do this is if you launch the app. Also, you guys are gonna have to. I can see it on screen too, actually. But all right, let me click on Saturn. Unisat. Here we go. Okay, now it's letting me sign and everything to log in. Boom. Okay. So now we're seeing exactly what my net worth is. I have a lot of TBTC, a decent amount. It's like 1 TBTC. Yeah. So what I have here, just like on Aave, where you can decide what assets to supply and you earn interest for that. So you're getting yield on that, right? So I can supply some TBTC, or I can supply some of these runes that I've minted on Saturn, actually. So you guys are familiar with the Saturn decks that we have. Mm-hmm. Well, yes. You can mint assets there, and then you can also supply them here in Cha-Ching. and then you'll be able to borrow against it. Now it's disabled right now, and that's just because there's some final tweaks that we're doing before the full functioning launch next week. But you can go ahead and check your reputation now.
I'll tell you what, like, do you want us to show like a live demo of how we can actually do a transaction? Nick, do you want me to do that? I can just
go ahead and do that.
I can just enable the dev environment for a bit for this presentation.
That's awesome.
Yeah, go ahead and show it on your screen. Yeah.
But,
and we're happy to answer all questions, obviously. Just wanted to show you guys first.
Yeah. While Ferks is getting that ready, I want to say this is really, satisfying for me at least, and I think Shizzy as well, because we know Ordbit. Like Ordbit has been in the space for a while, like he said, since the beginning. You guys jumped on our Saturday morning builder spaces back in the day, so these guys have been building here since the Bitcoin ecosystem's really taken off. And so for them, like I remember hearing about the kind of the social reputation thing, right? And it's a way to do it without KYCing yourself, because you can use your wallet address, and that address builds up the score, I believe. Is that correct?
That's absolutely right.
Right. You're totally right. I remember we used to have those spaces together back in the day when nobody was like in the ecosystem. And so we've been in the trenches together, guys.
100%. And it's good. It's satisfying to see you guys here now. Like, and so I know you're getting ready to showcase that, but like, I do have a question, and maybe you can answer it really quickly before you showcase it. But, since you've been building here since the beginning, your product was sophisticated. And I think that's what maxis need. They need sophistication. They don't want like, simple applications for them to let go their Bitcoin. But like, what made you choose Arch? What separates it from the other solutions?
So with Arch, the thing is, it's the bridgeless nature of Arch that actually resonated with us, right? And we know that for a fact, like if you can implement smart contracts the way Arch is actually doing it, because we're gonna keep like the assets are gonna be in the Arch multi-sig, so it's a little different from the conventional way of actually doing it, because what we're doing is we are using Taproot and smart contracts layered on Arch, ensuring security and scalability and decentralization. I'll tell you why. Because it's a bridgeless mechanism, right, for storing assets using Frost and Roast. Right, we're not going the conventional way. We're using Frost and Roast for this, and these are like threshold based algos, right? Threshold based algorithms. So what essentially it means is that anyone can participate in the network and become a validator and verifier, but there has to be like a threshold for that. So in order for you to become like a validator and a verifier, you need to stake a substantial amount of assets onto our pools, right? Then you'll be eligible to do that. And this overcomes actually this exceeds the advantages over a multi-sig, which has a bit of a trust issue, right? So this overcomes that by introducing threshold, like the quorum based multi-sig trustless verifiable wallets, right? Where validators are responsible for verifying the signatures. So, and of course, I talked about the bridgeless execution, right? That allows users to send their assets directly through the smart contracts invocation without bridging or wrapping their assets. I think this is a very, very important point. And that means that all assets transferred can occur using native Bitcoin, right? Involving UTXO using PSBT based transactions, right? So that makes it very unique technically, right? And that was something that resonated with us on another level, and we were like, okay, let's just go for it. Okay, on the sideline, are you able to see my screen right now, or
you're gonna have to share it at the very bottom. It says present. If you click that, it will let you pick your screen there. Okay, there you are. Yep, I can see it now.
So can you see the decentralized bank on Bitcoin?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so this is how Cha-Ching is going to look like. So this is just like how Nick explained: borrow, lend, earn, leverage, and on the on-chain reputation, it takes you there. And then a little bit of intro about why Cha-Ching, right? It's decentralized pool lending, transparent rates, seamless integration, rewarding experience. What you can do, stake, borrow. So let me just show like a demo transaction for y'all. Here we go. Okay. Oh yeah, I think these are enabled for me because this is in the dev environment right now. So yeah. So these are the supplies, my borrows, assets to supply and assets to borrow. It's exactly like how Aave functions, and this is a proven model, so we decided to go ahead with that. And if I choose to say supply some TBTC, I can go for like 0.0002, right? And yeah, that's how you do it, and then you just approve it. Let me just check. Okay, the
What
signature
would be
came.
your liquidation price? Oh, there is none because you're not borrowing. You're supplying it, right?
See, transaction success, right? So it is so fast. It's literally so fast.
That is
And
that actually on Arch testnet right now?
it is on Arch testnet, but
Okay.
there are a few tweaks that we need to solve before making the testnet live for people, because right now we're just doing a lot of stress testing.
Yeah. But
That's what.
that transaction you just did is Arch testnet though, right?
Yes, the
Okay.
transaction is Arch testnet,
Gotcha.
and you can just see the assets over here. Yeah, here, assets
First,
to
and,
borrow.
and you've got your borrows there too. Maybe show them. Did you already show how you borrowed and things like that? But also, I would
Yeah, I would
say
love to see like liquidation price and stuff. That'd be awesome.
that's what I was wondering is liquidation price. Is that shown
Yeah.
in your dashboard yet?
So
Or what's weird
yeah,
because Aave doesn't show exact liquidation price either. They make it kind of tricky to guess.
yeah. I mean,
Not good.
yeah, they don't. But for the borrows, I think. See, we have tested it, but maybe we keep the borrows for the next session,
Okay.
because I just need to be sure that the system is working properly. Because right now, as we talk, I know we've been like the team is actively like building on it, so I don't want to hamper their execution right now. I mean, I just wanted to show you how this thing works. I mean, I could do it, but I
Good.
think I
Well,
should.
No worries.
don't break anything if they're working on the borrow side. So
Yeah,
you know what I
because they're
mean?
working on it well right now. Yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
exactly.
So this is my on-chain reputation, right? So based on my on-chain reputation, I get like $20 worth of assets. Like my score is like 20, so out of 65, I get like whatever is there, right? So I
So
think
I want to talk about that real quick. So I love that on-chain reputation. Here, let me pull you. Okay, there you go. The on-chain reputation part I love because you're building a reputation associated to the Bitcoin address. So I guess correlating this to like a typical today's credit score, like if my reputation is I've had 10 loans, I'm flawless. What you're saying is my borrow rate will be lower because of my my history, right? Correct?
yeah. So yes, you're correct. But let me just explain that to you. So if your on-chain reputation score is higher, that makes you eligible for a better interest, right? You will
Yeah.
have to pay lesser interest compared to all the other people that actually borrow from our platform. Like for example, if you have a score of 80 and Shizzy has a score of say 50, sorry Shizzy, uh, but, so you will probably have to pay say 8%, and Shizzy will have to pay 12%,
I love
as
that.
interest. So yeah, so it is like an incentive for the people to keep their on-chain reputation good, so that they bear the fruits, right? And it also helps the pool as well, because even though it's like an in-house kind of a system for the on-chain reputation, but it makes the pool 100 times more powerful, and it makes the product 100 times more powerful. That's what we feel, because it's not just Aave, it's literally Aave on steroids, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
This is absolutely awesome because, like I was telling Yagobi, I'm telling him for a while, like I don't ever want to, like, and when this cycle's over, I obviously we want things, right? But I don't want to sell my Bitcoin to get those things. I want to bring all my assets and put them in Bitcoin, and then potentially take a loan out against that Bitcoin and pay that back over time. And something like Aave really gives you that freedom to do that, because like you don't have to like pay it back at a certain time, right? As long as you know, you're obviously you're gonna be paying more interest as you kind of go. But at the same time, like there's no, I don't got to pay it back in 14 days. Is that something similar to what you guys are doing?
Yeah, I mean, not exactly, but
Okay.
sorry, Nick, you were saying something?
No, I was saying there's probably different terms.
Yeah, there are probably different terms for that, but
Okay.
for us, okay. So let me go with the yield and the interest rate strategy, and then I'll correlate the two, right? So it's basically just depending on the supply and demand. You can earn anywhere from like 2 to 20% depending on the tokens, right? That you actually want to stake or borrow. I think in the current market conditions, when market changes, the demand for non-volatile currencies or tokens increases, so the yield has to be high, right? And these parameters can be tuned based on market conditions, collateralization ratio, utilization ratio, liquidation rate, LTV, and all those things, right? Now, peer to pool, it is not at as high as P2P, right? That's for sure, because there will be the utilization ratio aspect to it, right? So that is why it will be a little, you can say, a little lesser than the P2P. But because of the utilization ratio, you can do volumes and you can do like multiple loans and borrows at the same time, right? Because you're dealing directly with the pool, and it is not the other person or lender on the other side that you're dealing with, right? Because we're maintaining the pools in such a way that you can just do it like in a jiffy. So that thing is there. Then apart from that, I think, yeah. And so Shizzy, your question was related to
The
uh,
So yeah,
time of being
time,
able to pay
the time
back.
frame, right?
because
The
Yeah.
payback.
I know on Aave there's no time frame. I just, if as long as I want that loan, it's there for me. Well, I haven't used it in a long time, but
Yeah,
I remember last time
it's
I used it, I could keep this USDC as long as I want it. Obviously, the interest rate goes up. I mean,
yes,
the amount
yes,
that
that's
I pay
yeah.
is
That's exactly how it works. But we need to keep in mind the initial strategy that we want to actually implement, right? Because we can do that definitely, yes. But I think to just try out the waters, we might keep like a cap on the duration. I mean, that is under that is in talks, and we would actually want the community to actively be a part of this.
To
Uh,
give some context here, Ferks, I believe the
yeah.
reason this is more of a bootstrapping, start of the protocol question rather than a
Yeah.
long-term
Yes.
thing. So when you
100%.
have lower liquidity at the beginning of Aave now has matured to, I believe,
yeah.
somewhere between like 1 to 5 billion or something like that, right? In terms of liquidity available. Not totally sure about that. I had to double check my numbers.
Yeah.
When you're starting out a protocol like that, a lot of times a reason why you see time locked yield, time lock, whatever, is because you have to make sure that you actually have the assets, the collateral, right? And if you, it's on Aave, because there's so much extra collateral, there's much more, it's much easier
Yeah.
for them to do
Yeah.
that. So once we get to size, absolutely, I imagine Cha-Ching's going to, offer the same kind
Yeah,
of experience
for
as
sure,
Aave.
for sure. And I totally agree with Nick. So this is precisely what I was trying to convey. And if you look at the Aave model right now, they're active on multiple chains. You see the number of chains and the assets they have. It's insane. You can do like you can go cross chain. You can bridge stuff with Solana, and you can borrow something else, and they have like a lot of pairs out there. So that's why you can just keep it for as long as you want. But we definitely are moving towards that, and we will do it better than that for sure, because we have because of the on-chain reputation system. And I think it makes sense to do it only on Bitcoin, right? So because that's where all the liquidity is, that we strongly believe that. And this is coming from numerous discussions with the whales and people who actually hold like a huge chunk of Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, but
Uh, I just wanted to say, like, I guarantee you guys are going to come out with that type of product offering down the road, because as the reputation management grows, there's going to be a whole nother market that forms that needs that kind of product. Do you get what I'm saying? So,
exactly.
yeah, it's just kind of an evolution of time through with your product, I think, and platform. So I'm super excited about it, and the social management or reputation part, is that something that you guys are going to try to make proprietary and then kind of share with the ecosystem, in terms of, like, going through you guys to use that, or how are you going to approach that? Because that's a new thing, I think.
Yeah, so that's the beauty of it, right? Nobody is actually doing that because it takes like it's not easy to implement on chain for sure, because you have to go through each wallet, the assets it holds, and the other platforms that the wallet has interacted with before. That also plays like a key pivotal role over here, because we not only just our platform, we also check whether the wallet has defaulted or been like at the good behavior on other platforms as well, right? So there's a lot of pointers that actually contribute to this score, right? So we are not keeping the score as the main product. It is a feature on top of the peer to pool lending, right? It just makes it even more sexier, right? And it's like even more faster and reliable, right? Now the interesting part about the on-chain score is that once you actually have all the data, right? We live in a world where data is like literally
King.
digital gold. Like, yeah, you data is king, right? So we will actually have the data of all these wallets and how they interact with other platforms, and then based on this data, we can actually identify the real users for different products that come out in the future. Now, if somebody wants to start an insurance company on Bitcoin, where we actually have like a few, so they can actually use this data to find out who their real customers are, because it's highly important for an insurance company to have an on-chain reputation score, right? So this is just one of the things that this product can enable, and I'm pretty sure like peer-to-pool lending based on the on-chain reputation, it will open up a plethora of new opportunities and domains that people can actually find interesting, and they can just start working on it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is amazing. Yeah.
This is why I say we're in the right place at the right time, because, like, these type of
So
product rollouts, man. He's here because of he knows the market cap of Bitcoin,
Yeah.
and he's talking to these maxis, and you have to deliver a sophisticated product. It can't be some simple thing, because they're already hard to convince in the first place, right? So
yes, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
And if the API, the yield is there, I mean, and it's locked into a smart contract where I can take the smart contract and I can look into it and actually know that this is not being, it's not being custodianed by, Blockify or some other bullshit like that. It's actually in a smart contract locked in there and it's giving me yield. I mean, that's exactly what I want.
100%.
Correct.
Awesome. Well, Ferks, we got one more builder to bring up, but I wanted to give you a chance to maybe have some words to the audience about what they can look forward to with Cha-Ching, and maybe some timelines if you have any. If you don't, no worries, but wanted to give you a little time here.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. So we are live with the missions on the Arch dashboard, right? For now, the missions are like pretty simple. Like one of them is uh, the X, like our Twitter. We just made that live as well, and the other one is checking your on-chain reputation score. So if you're watching this, just head over to the chaching.digital page and check your on-chain reputation, and then please let us know how you really like it, and get ready for real peer-to-pool sort of lending on Bitcoin, that is offering a decentralized ecosystem for lending, borrowing, and staking. I'm pretty sure you guys will enjoy it because it's good for the degens, it's good for the holders, it's good for the Bitcoin ecosystem on the whole. It's something that is the need of the hour right now, and we are here to deliver it. Thank you so much.
Love
No
it.
problem. I got an 85. I guess
No.
I'm doing something right.
I
So-
thought Shizzy's would just say jerk. No, I'm just kidding. Just messing around. But Ferks, man, it was awesome having you on. And once you guys are getting ready for mainnet, we'd love to do a full recording episode with you. Super excited about this product. I think it's gonna do great. If everything plays out the way you guys have planned, for sure.
For sure. Thank you so much, Yagobi, Shizzy. Looking forward to it.
All right,
Yeah, man.
we'll talk to you soon.
85, baby.
All
85.
Let's go. 85. He's sharing his screen just to be sure. Okay, I think it was because I gave Shizzy 60 before this, right?
Ah,
Sorry, Shizzy.
cheating.
Don't nobody, man. I'm trying to win. But
It should have
I'm
been
gonna get
the
a
other
99 before you guys go live. I'll have a 99 guaranteed.
All
Let's
right,
go.
let's go.
All right, Ferks, we'll talk to you
Thanks,
soon.
Rick.
All right, thank you so much.
Yep.
All
That's
right.
exciting, right?
That's cool. I'm excited for that, dude. I'm excited to right now I'm using Saturn every day. I'm going to add this to my rotation as well, and on top of RuneMine and so much other stuff. But speaking of RuneMine, we got our next guest here. We got RuneDex. Sorry about that. We got RuneDex here. What's up, bud?
How's it going, guys? What's
Good,
up?
man. How are you?
Propaganda department representing. We're here. We're live. How's it going? The markets are looking great. We're vibing.
Yeah,
You guys-
definitely bouncing back. I guess we need to do Arch Thursdays, maybe other days too, because it looks like we crossed over 100K. So that's good luck, right?
You guys are single-handedly responsible for sparking this bull market. So thank
Sometimes we do that. I don't know. So how you been, man? We had Victor, I believe, last week on the show, kind of breaking down to the audience what RunesDex is about. But this is our first time meeting you, David. Definitely nice to meet you. Could you maybe explain to the audience what your role is with the team?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, appreciate you guys having me, and always a pleasure to have RunesDex on this awesome show. We're here. We're part of the community. We're making it happen. My name's David. I'm here with RunesDex. I'm one of the people running the marketing department right now at RunesDex. I work on a couple different projects by the company that has facilitated all of this infrastructure from the currently unnamed RunesDex group, we'll call it. As Victor mentioned last week, the same team is behind this new platform, Big.Fun, where you're able to launch some runes collections. RunesDex, we're now pushing to be one of the leading AMM rune solutions on the market. We had an awesome video the other day go up by a YouTuber who was just comparing our platform with Magic Eden, for instance. And we love Magic Eden. I love the guys at Magic Eden. I've loved the Magic Eden platform since I was just an NFT maxi before I was an Ordinals maxi. But that all being said, you still have to place a trade of a block of runes. You have to buy a pack, or call it what you will, of runes in order to make a purchase. Versus on RunesDex, you're able to just go and you could buy $1 of runes. You could buy $10 of a specific rune, and you're able to do that since we are a consumer-centric liquidity platform. We're an AMM. Anybody is able to go add liquidity for any rune that they have in their wallet. And so that's been exciting for us. We've been able to work pretty closely, even in the first week since our integration with Xverse. Thank you for doing this live for our beautiful audience. You're able to do this yourself and, kind of go back to the original reason of why are we all in this space? Why are we trying to, take custody and control over all the transactions that we do? And that kind of brings us back to, why are we trusting centralized systems, centralized exchanges to do some of these processes? So yeah, power back to the people. RunesDex, we want to make this accessible to everybody. And I think actually the last time we did a spaces with you, I forgot who it was, but somebody added liquidity for a brand new token for the first time. And that was always cool to see because you're able to, anybody can do it. So yeah, running marketing, bringing on some people to help run community for this as well. Big shout out as well. Some people know Troy, who also works with Ord Maxis, and I think he's also with Bitcoin Profits and a few others. Troy also as of yesterday.
I met Troy in New York.
He's a part of your team.
He's just joined us as our director of memes. So
wow,
that's part of my capacity is also just helping build out and kind of scale up this team and get us up and running. But super bullish on RunesDex, super bullish on the ecosystem, and bullish on you guys. Appreciate you having us here 2 weeks in a row. Let's go.
Yeah, Yeah, first of all, I'm really bullish on you guys if that's an official position. Director of memes, let's go.
I mean, hey, I approved it today with the CEO, so it's official as of today. I said, hey, worst case, I demote him publicly, and he didn't mind. So that was
yeah. So you know, RunesDex. First of all, I'm really impressed. You know, with the structure of you guys. You know, you guys really seem professional in terms of departments, and like you have it all kind of buttoned up there. But one question I got is, you know, this has been a pain point in since we've had BRC20s introduced, and then runes, these Bitcoin fungibles of having an AMM, but then you know, decentralized AMMs, because that's kind of what the limitations, we have to do that, right? So you have like dot swap and you guys, and then there was no rush over to be like, oh, okay, like they solved the pain point. Why do you think that is? And then how do you think the volume increases?
Yeah, 100%. You know, I was around pretty deep in the space at the last like DeFi summer, moving into the first like NFT bull run period. And I actually feel personally, this is my own personal opinion. I'm not, you know, no financial advice, no, you know, corporate representation. But I do really feel like the vibes are the same now as they were then. When you feel like there are a lot of people who become very educated on what this is, but it's still a very, very niche group of people. And then we saw it do its downturn, and now we're starting to come back up. And it really feels like this group of people who were part of the last Ordinals Runes bull run are now here and equipped and ready. And a lot of us, I'd say maybe even a majority of us, if not, it's never all of us, but a majority of us were also around for the last DeFi summer NFT bull run and kind of know what to expect. So I do see a lot of bull posting. I do see a lot of just like kind of pure undying sentiment of just like, we're either going to zero or we're going to a billion. And, you know, that sentiment I feel like has really been lacking in the space for the past like year and a half, to be perfectly honest. And it's really refreshing to see that again. And now I think that sentiment and actually the community is what has sparked DotSwap, us, other entities in this space, really trying to push and build the infrastructure. Because actually, I will quote Victor, even though he's not with us today, he's unfortunately on another call. But one thing that Victor said once, which I wrote down because I thought it was so baller, but it's also just very true, is blockchain without community is a piece of expensive shit. and that's true. That's honestly true. And I think the fact that we have shows like this, that we have, you know, spaces happening all the time with community that's interested and fervent and ready and rabid to be a part of these projects and want to learn, like legitimately actually understand what's going on in these projects. We haven't had that in a while. And I think that's what will allow for this to be successful in the next few months as the markets continue to go up. You know, Trump presidency, all these things that we've been discussing, you know, there's a lot of really great signals this year for the market to continue to move in its upward trajectory. And I feel like this community is really the one that will hopefully, you know, these are the bets we're taking, hopefully be the ones who can reap the benefits from being there from the beginning and sticking through one of the most ridiculous up and downturns, you know, within the past couple of years of crypto. But again, we see green in our wallets again for the first time in a while, and some of those percentages going up. So I'm personally bullish. And yeah, that's also what we want to facilitate as well by being an AMM. We really want to. And also by facilitating Big Fun and RunesDex together. This is one of the reasons we launched both platforms, even though Big Fun hasn't really been marketed yet. Right now, I joke because it's literally 3 guys who basically run that whole project. I joke that it's like 3 kids in a trench coat who are running that project. But now, you know, we're onboarding a team, we're getting that up and running. But we wanted everybody to be able to, from the beginning, if you wanted to, be able to have a wallet with funds in it, go create a token, go create a rune right now on your own without any additional support, be able to do that within a matter of minutes. It might take you 10 minutes for that transaction to post, but you can do it right away on your own without any additional infrastructure. And then if you wanted to, once you hit your bonding curve, or if you funded it yourself, you could go put liquidity on RunesDex and have that coin be tradable, have that rune be tradable within minutes, if not under an hour, you know. And that's just the type of, you know, infrastructure that we want people to have access to. And we think that by making this process easier, which again, all of this just launched, but by making this process easier and by participating in community conversations and being very upfront with our community, we hope that this is the way that we can, facilitate just a better experience for everybody involved. And even from the beginning, I'll shut up in a second, but even from the beginning, what I'll say is one of the things we first did, when we launched RunesDex, is already start to reach out to a lot of the leading runes communities. And some of them are small, some of them are big. You know, we have great group chats with like Bitcoin Bro Bear, with like Organic Bitcoin, with, you know, Based Internet Panda people. And we're just asking them, hey, check out the platform, try it out. If you have any bugs, like tell us. You know, we want to be very upfront with the community and have that active conversation, because that's how we build, that's how we grow, and that's how we can, create products that actually serve people, ideally.
Yeah, man. 100%. I did notice one little issue with your swap though, and
Please.
that's the Bitcoin block time is just too damn slow.
That's not their fault,
kind of, I know. I'm just kidding.
Preaching to the choir, my man. I agree with you. One thing I will say. Oh yeah, please.
But that is why you. But that is why you guys are going to be building an arch, right? So I guess my question would be, when do you guys expect to have testnet up for the arch ecosystem for us to kind of see that functionality very quickly?
Nick, I don't know what we're allowed to say. I don't want to be too specific in terms of dates and break anything.
I will let you say whatever you want to say. Yeah, it's happening. And if you guys can give me the date, I think testnet is less sketchy to say dates about than mainnet, right? So pretty much whenever you guys are ready, and whenever I know that on our side we've got to work with you too. But yeah, whenever both the devs on both sides are ready, like, let's go.
I know that we have a great roadmap this month since we are launching our point system this month. So that will be coming in the next week or two. So I can say that first. But the next thing on our roadmap is, I believe, testnet. So you can expect an arch integration without promising anything, I'd say, within the next quarter. But this is the work that we are doing. And the guys at Arch have been absolutely amazing. We announced our partnership early this week. So it is official. We can say that, not be worried about talking about it. But yeah, we're super excited. And these are the exact types of solutions that are required. And also, I think this is a perfect example of, people building within their specific niche, and then us being able to collaborate and work together to build something bigger. And like, oh, this is a good AMM. It really works. If we use this solution, it'll be faster. So, if all of us keep building and pushing, we'll end up with something.
Just to add to that, this is a perfect example of what a functioning DeFi ecosystem looks like, which means multiple sources of liquidity, which is why what Cha-Ching is doing is so valuable, because they're going to be drawing on those multiple sources of liquidity. So when we have multiple AMMs out there and different sources of swaps and things like that, and places where collateral is being posted, something like Cha-Ching, which is modeling themselves after the Aave model, they can pull from all those sources of liquidity. So on Aave, you're not getting a loan necessarily from Aave. You're getting a loan from some source that they pull that liquidity from, right? So RunesDex, Saturn, obviously, and other dexes that integrate with us and other AMMs and things like that, they're going to be working together on getting that. And then if you want to think some game theory here, right? All just like you see this in our ecosystems, but it basically, in the end, and this is why if you're not already super bullish on Arch, I believe you should be, it forces anyone who wants to play game in order to be competitive to integrate with Arch. And the reason why is because there was this great piece that someone posted last week that was making the rounds in the Bitcoin space about like the case for Bitcoin L2s, but it was really the case for whichever Bitcoin L2 wins out, right? So whichever one wins out is going to be the one that and the reason why they were so bullish is they were essentially saying this is different than like a Bitcoin or an Ethereum L2, where you still have the base layer that you're competing with and people are building off of the base layer. In essence, in Bitcoin, whatever programmability platform, whatever programmability functions that still settles and actually is active on Bitcoin, that will win, right? That will be essentially Bitcoin L1 programmability. So it's an L1 play, right? And what that means for different AMMs, that means for different lending protocols, that means for really everything in DeFi that relies on multiple protocols coming together and providing greater liquidity and programmability and functionality, which you have to do to remain competitive. What that means is that they're all going to need to be speaking the same language, which means that, again, whichever they're not, it's like there are Bitcoin L2s out there that could be competitive, except, well, I would argue they can't, because you have to bridge into them. And as soon as you do that, you're getting rid of Bitcoin assets, right? Bitcoin native assets, you're having to translate them. Anyone who can do programmability on the L1 and do it in nuanced, fast ways and be able to actually connect this liquidity across multiple AMMs, once that emerges, which we believe it will be Arch, then everyone's going to have to join them to be competitive. You simply can't function in DeFi you will be cut off from where all the liquidity is, and that is going to be, you know, the big differentiator. So that's why we're so bullish.
Yeah. So I've actually talked about this, you know, having a unified like virtual machine. It's going to be different than like what Ethereum created, because you have on-chain compute there. So what let's just say Arch as an example, let's say it fills that kind of solution, right? And it is the virtual machine. And you're absolutely right. You know, developers, and the fact I know that's probably why you guys picked Rust, is because there's a developer bucket there already, right? So now there's an easy transition. Now people that built on Solana, now they can build on Arch, and then bridging will be easier. I still think that there's going to be like these Bitcoin layer 2s, but like, because like you mentioned, the layer 1 compute is not going to exist unless they upgrade the chain, which they're not going to do, in my opinion, the cycle. So you guys are going to be the compute for them, right? So you guys are going to do what Ethereum's VM does for them, but they can do it on chain. And so it's just a little different aspect. And I think that's
imagine that's a pretty good comparison. I like that a lot. And the only thing I'd add too is, now imagine if Ethereum had the benefit of having seen what Ethereum did and what happened and what played out, and thus was able to start out with a low gas fee, much faster environment to be the base, right? Would you have seen all these L2s emerge if it weren't for high ETH gas fees? Probably not, right?
Yeah.
High gas fees and speeds. And so because we're able to start from day one as the execution machine for Bitcoin, but with Solana-like speeds, it's going to get interesting. It's like the argument for L2s is to like, you know, do a specific function better. But if you've got speed and full interoperability, I mean, I could definitely still see L2s. You could theoretically have L2s tap. And actually, we've talked about this as having like Stacks and others, you know, use the Arch VM as their base layer kind of integration. Just like, you know, Base would use Ethereum and things like that. That's definitely possible in the future too. And we see like room for that in the ecosystem, but it will be interesting to see what value add they will have to bring if speed isn't the main value add.
Yeah. Well, I think ETH decided to, you know, give up, you know, security on the trilemma when they first created the blockchain, right? So that's why they were like,
we're not security, but speed, right? Scalability.
Both, right? So there's speed, decentralization, and security. Right. So if you want to be really good like Bitcoin on security, you got to give up on speed, 10-minute blocks, and decentralized. You can have two. You just got to give up on one. And so that's what they did with speed. And so, but that kind of brings me back to, and this is more of a philosophical kind of conversation. I think here it's more of like maybe layer ones weren't so. It's like the Bitcoiners don't want to give up security, and so that's why Arch is so important to be that kind of, you know. Okay, we'll handle that. We'll take care of the speed, because we're gonna, you know, you do the security. We'll verify everything over there. We'll handle off-chain compute and stuff like that. But I think this is gonna blow the freaking Bitcoin ecosystem up, and this is where the people are sleeping on it, in my opinion, because right now everybody's so focused on shiny things. So
yeah, I mean, absolutely. Although I will say, like, the people who have been building in the space, and I don't say this lightly, like, you know, again, my background as a journalist, like, you know, seek the truth and report it. Like, that's kind of my basis here. And if I had to shill and say fake things all the time, I'd quit this job in a second. The cool thing is that, you know, while we've had to do a lot of hard work on the marketing side, because it's always, you know, hard work and building so many partnerships and doing all this stuff, I will say you can tell when something is easily understood and when it's picked up, and the community is like, you know, just embraced Arch and rushed after it. And you see a lot of the builders who get what's going on and who see the bigger picture. It's like a no-brainer for them. And you don't always get that kind of clear product market fit. I've only seen it a few times in my career advising entrepreneurs. I've been advising founders, working with startups early stage to get to Series A, B, and beyond. Like, I've done that, you know, for many years now, but this is one of those few cases where you can see that the product fit is just so clear that
100%
people are rallying behind it. So it's exciting to see.
Yeah. Sure. And to swing back to David here, I do want to say, when you said that Victor makes the statement of a blockchain without community is an expensive piece of shit, I felt that whenever he told me his experience with Lightning. This is not to shit on Lightning and stuff like that, but he went through the Lightning, building on Lightning. He went building on rootstock, and I know he's still doing stuff there, but that was one of the reasons why he came to Ordinals Runes and then now Arch, which kind of does the full circle for RunesDex because it gets rid of that centralized kind of feel with the MPC or the multi-sig, and now you can use their prover network to decentralize that. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, Victor's been building in the space, and like this group of people behind us has been building in the space since like 2014, 2015. I even stacked my first stat in 2014, not at the same level as Victor. I always like compare us in very different lights because he was running like the first Ukrainian Bitcoin conference. I was like on a Bitcoin faucet. So, different levels. But that being said, yeah, I mean, at this point, he's tried all the tools. They've gone through all the processes. We've built on Lightning. We've done BRC20. We've built infrastructure for rootstock, even another, Bitcoin L2s. So I think we've tried all the different things, and now we're at a place where we see that we have our oracle. We see what the future looks like from our perspective, and we're definitely really bullish on what Arch is building, integrating these two pieces together and being able to say that we, represent runes built directly on Bitcoin and that we have assets on Bitcoin, and we can say that, with our chest and not be able to say, technically it's kind of an asset on Bitcoin, and it's like, yeah, it is on another chain, but without having to have a caveat really feels good. And I think it's also very true to not just Victor, not just the devs behind this project, but what we hope to see for the ecosystem. I'm a little bit of a maxi. I think Victor's a little bit of a maxi. I think a lot of us are, kind of maxis. I mean, we toe the line. We like ordinals. We like runes. We're not just pure. But at the same time, like, this is the mother chain. It makes sense for us to be here and to be building here. And it's actually really refreshing. I have a whole rabbit hole I can personally go down on my opinions around like ordinals. And I mean, I wrote a master's thesis on NFTs, and I had a whole epiphany a while ago being like, wait a second. The only NFTs are ordinals. There's no other NFTs, and all of these are fake. They're not actually inscribed. But yeah, I think that there is this new, like I said even before, this new school of just like pure belief. And I think a lot of people now are feeling that the sentiment and what we appreciated about the space maybe 2 or 3 years ago around like the promise of Web3 or the promise of decentralization or crypto around, pure ownership and actually storing things on chain and all of that now is actually coming true, but only now, not then. Like now we're actually getting this like remanifestation of all of these promises that we've been given, and it feels good.
Yeah, man,
Absolutely.
100%. One thing that Nick said that really stood out to me was the fact that potentially down the line, all these liquidity pools are gonna like leak into each other. So if RuneDex has these pools, and a Saturn has these pools, and Cha-Ching has these pools, potentially down the line, you guys are all gonna basically connect these pools together in a way of massive liquidity through every protocol. That would be something we've never seen before, and absolutely insane to actually even think about.
I think what's a cool maybe like connection to make, if you see how other ecosystems have evolved, like remember when it was really revolutionary for an NFT platform to show listings on other NFT platforms? It was like, whoa, these guys are doing that. That's wild.
Yeah.
You're already seeing that right off the bat with platforms like DotSwap and Magic Eden already listing multiple prices for runes. And I think we want to push that further. And the fact that we integrated in Xverse is already creating a great experience for a lot of people, because now there's actually optionality. Competition breeds innovation. We need optionality. We need options as people. Otherwise, there is no freedom of choice. Being able to see, what is the best deal right now, depending on multiple sources of liquidity, is a great value to the ecosystem. And so we definitely want to see more of that. And in order for this to grow, we ideally need $1 billion TVL, not just a couple platforms, locking up a few $1 million. We need billions of dollars TVL. So this is necessary for growth in the space. And we hope to see a lot more interplay and connectivity and collaboration, as like almost like we learned our lesson from the last bull run and the last, cycle around.
Yeah, I think I can't remember if we had Bitflow on here, or of course you're familiar with Bitflow from the Stacks ecosystem. But Bitflow is one of our partners who is actively building. In fact, I believe next week they're looking at some of the code and kind of verifying it. So that's pretty exciting. Obviously, who knows whether it'll be next month or when they actually launch. But Bitflow is a DEX aggregator, right? And so, that's exactly what David's talking about, is the ability to kind of bring these rates together, find the best rates, and it creates a more competitive system overall. It also just connects that liquidity across the board.
Yeah, we need that. I was going to say we absolutely need that, because Runes started without liquidity pools, and so there's communities like BDC, Doggo to the Moon, Gizmo, etc., that need this kind of joint effort to make this work, to get going in the beginning. But that's all I wanted to say.
Amen. And my trade did go through on that I made, and then I just did another one where I sent from my dog to back to Bitcoin. So it works great. You guys did a great job. I love I love your UI. I'm big into the black and the white. As you can
I
see.
don't know his name. I really should know the name of this designer, but he's always been referred to me as what I'm about to say. But we're bullish on the fact that apparently one of Elon Musk's favorite designers designed the website. That's always how he's been referred to. We'll tweet about it. We'll shout him out. We'll give him his flowers, but I still don't know the name because that's all I've been told. But last thing I just want to say, because I'm very excited about this. On the platform now, you can already start to see that, like on DotSwap, $1 Billion Cat has a ton of liquidity. But on our swap, I think it was it the Puppets or one of the pools? Like Puppets, we have quite a significant liquidity pool, but also I think it was based Internet Panda. Like some of these, we're getting really great competitive prices just because we happen to have more liquidity on our platform. So again, this is just an example to see how adding some competition to the market and adding more liquidity on different platforms can lead to competitive prices, all these lovely things. Anyway,
I mean, $42,000.
Our audience
That's incredible.
has over this too as well. Sorry, just to say.
Yeah, the site looked fast, man. When you clicked on it, it's like it was very fast.
Oh yeah,
loading.
It's super fast, dude. Like it's very quick. And going back to the decks here, I mean, yeah, you guys couldn't have done it really any better. And then they got the big fun here. App.big.fun is their this is your pump, right?
Yes, this is pump.fun, but on Bitcoin. So anybody can go right now. If you go to Forge, you do have to fund a wallet on here because it is an internal platform. But what I'll say is it's even faster. Like I just like I've tested minting a coin. I won't say which one it is because I'm not going to pump my own bags. But I've tested, getting a Rune live on this platform, pre-bonding curve. So it like automatically kind of like pseudo goes live, but it's very fast. It's very, very fast. So
that's awesome.
Yep. All right, David. Amazing show, amazing discussion, man. Love to give you the stage. Kind of sign off here before we let you go. I guess a last statement to the audience about RunesDex, maybe some expectations.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Look, we are still a new platform, but we are building really strong. We have a point system that's going to be launching in the next week or two. You can already get a taste of it on big.fun if you go check it out right now. All of our ats and websites are right here on the box. So runesdex.com @RunesDex. Go check it out. Provide liquidity for any of your favorite runes, whether they're on the platform right now or not. You can do it yourself. We're an AMM. And yeah, if you want a fun activity over the weekend and you want to, have your own pumped up fun moment, but do it truly only on Bitcoin, you can do it yourself right now on big.fun. You could only buy 0.0001 of your own meme coin and have a meme coin live and potentially even with liquidity on RunesDex within a matter of hours, days, depends on you. So yeah, that's the plug. Appreciate you guys having us.
Yep.
Yeah,
thanks,
man.
David.
Yeah, you guys are doing a great job, man. It's crazy. I heard about you guys with your partnership with Xverse, and now it's just like I see you guys constantly. I was in your space the other day, and you guys just run a great space as well. Just great job. You guys are killing it, and just keep going, man.
I appreciate it. And if anybody is at Ord Tokyo, we do have a panel tomorrow. Troy's going to be on the panel. Yan from Xverse is going to be on the panel. Victor's going to be calling in remotely. And we have some fun announcements going live tomorrow. So for our Ordinals fans, we have some fun announcements going live tomorrow.
Let's go. Cool. Awesome. All right, David, we will talk to you soon, sir.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Take care.
Yep. See you, man. You too.
So. Yeah, man. I love Arch Thursdays. I love it for a lot of different reasons. The main reason is because I get to sit back and just learn. I get to learn about what's coming. I get to learn about what I potentially be getting in an airdrop in, right? Because if you use these sites when they're in testnet, a lot of the times you're going to get an airdrop. And especially, we were kind of talking about like all these new chains that are coming with Barachain and Abstract, stuff like that. But there's stuff like that's coming to Arch as well, right? We're getting all these new projects. Cha-ching will probably eventually do an airdrop, right? Because that's just kind of how you do. You reward your community, you reward your new users. So definitely, guys, you need to be checking out Cha-ching. We're going to be, I use Saturn every day. I'm going to be adding Cha-ching to that, and anything that comes on to Arch's testnet, I'm going to be using, because not only am I earning that token potentially, but I'm also earning the Arch token. And the Arch token is one of the tokens that I want to be a whale in if possible. And if that's through an airdrop, that would be absolutely amazing. So thank you guys for joining us today. 434 people today. Crazy.
Yep. Definitely showed up for Arch Thursdays. The thing that like is different, and this is not a jab at any other kind of scaling solution in this, was it called TEE? is what they're called when they use those prover networks and decentralize it that way. So you got Tap, you have, and we're going to learn more about RuneMine soon. We actually do a recording with them today, and then you have Arch. But like, you know, we've had 2 dexes on Arch Thursdays already. You have Saturn, and then you have them, and then you have what Bitflow he said is coming as an aggregator swap.
They're gonna be aggregator. Yep.
That solves the liquidity pool issue, in my opinion, because like you have 2 that are going to compete, so they're going to incentivize each other, incentivize kind of competitively for the users to want to put liquidity there. Then you have the AMM that says, okay, don't worry about it. Like I'll find you the best liquidity, the best price or whatever. So, this is huge, but definitely want to thank you guys. Hey, we went over 9 minutes, couldn't even tell. But we want to thank all 439 of you guys watching. We really appreciate you guys supporting us. And if you wouldn't mind just checking out our partners, that would definitely help us out. Emblem Vault is the interoperability tool of the Bitcoin Layer 1 ecosystem or assets, starting with Ordinals. You're going to be able to jump your Ordinals from Bitcoin to Merlin chain, from Bitcoin to Abstract. That's going to be a big one too, and other chains as well. And they have their Bitcoin AI wallet product coming out as well. It should be out here in the next couple weeks. But you can learn more about them at emblem.vision. And then BetBTC is the predictions marketplace for the Bitcoin ecosystem. They utilize ICP and Bitcoin technology for you to be able to place bets on their marketplace. We had a meeting with these guys, and they have some big rollouts coming up here in the next 2-3 weeks. They're going to have you create your own markets where you can earn 1.5% against the total volume of people placing bets on the markets you create. So it's going to be really, really fun. You can learn more at betbtc.win. And then BitPerp, they have a big announcement coming tomorrow. It should be. They are the perps and leverage DEX of the Bitcoin ecosystem as well. They are launching their paper trading competition on Botonics. It should be on Monday, is what we last heard. Just keep checking back at bitperp.io, and you just want to get familiarized with their platform because they're going to have a point system for future TGE as well. And then Fluid Tokens, the UTXO staking protocol on Bitcoin Layer 1. If you are a founder of an Ordinal collection or you etched a rune and you want your holders to be able to stake and earn, reach out to Raul, which is the CTO of Fluid Tokens. You can get through to him going through their X account or through us. We can hook you up. Just reach out to us. They have other big updates. The biggest one right now is making sure you get your Fluid Pass staked before midnight Sunday. So midnight Monday, really. And you want to make sure you get that stake because after that, it's closed up. You can't get in. They have all the other things to look forward to as well. The bridge from Cardano to Bitcoin and vice versa. They are going to be helping, I believe, Charles Hawkinson build that solution for that. You can learn more at fluidtokens.com and click on the Bitcoin icon there. And then Merlin Chain, your #1 scaling solution for Bitcoin native L1 assets and protocols. If you are a builder on Bitcoin Layer 1 and you want a Layer 2 solution that's more flexible and faster, you can reach out to their team and apply for a builder grant. They have great builder support there. And if you're a retail user, there's a lot of new features coming. They just had Alexis OS integrated into their blockchain. So look out for AI products as well. You can learn more at merlinchain.io. And then don't forget about our integrated partners, Foxy building the metaverse called the Bitverse on Bitcoin, as well as their first-person shooter game called Clan Wars, and Ordinal Hive, the aggregator Ordinal marketplace on Bitcoin Layer 1 and Layer 2. You're going to be able to find the cheapest Ordinals around utilizing Ordinal Hive. And they have some great trader tools as well. And we thank you guys so much for checking out our partners.
Yep. Great job, man. If you guys wouldn't mind checking out ordinalrevolution.com, we have some of the best articles dating all the way back to last year. If you know someone just entering the space, please send them our website. We really feel like it can help them get started and code up to where we are today. If you guys need a VPN, we have the #1 VPN. We have Nord. Check out everything here at ordinalrevolution.com. You just kind of come here, click Nord to get 70% off coupon, guys. It's $3 a month. There's no reason to not have a VPN. And there's free ones out there as well. So if you do not want Nord, then you get a free one, but definitely have a VPN and use our link. And if you guys are going to Bitcoin 2025 Vegas, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting. But do not wait till May to get your tickets. Get them as soon as possible. They do go up every single Friday, it seems like. And if you guys need merch, we have some of the best merch in all of crypto, not just Ordinals. Check out everything here. Hit our store tab. We got hoodies, hats, jackets, and so much more, guys. Check out everything at ordinalrevolution.com. And guys, we are live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central. 8 a.m. Pacific, and 4 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys, and until tomorrow.
Peace.
We OG, oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro.
RunesDex.
Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nuki on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.